McGregor. And I got to tell you, this has been the fight all along. All along, it has been Conor versus USADA, and it was a massive question of who's going to win. Now, if this is the one that I wanted, by the way, because Conor's argument is extremely strong. I mean, I'll just offer you that. USADA was very bad form coming out and speaking on what would happen should Conor return, considering Conor had not returned, right? Anytime that you come out and you're getting ahead of something, and you're trying to deal with a problem that doesn't currently exist, it's a very risky game, and USADA didn't need to do it. But they came out with a statement, and this is just Chael's opinion, right? Conor McGregor has only sold one thing in his entire time in this industry, which is power. When I say sell, I mean perform, I mean feint, I mean hint, I mean act as though he has something that he doesn't. For a while, people thought he was selling skills, that it wasn't real. Conor McGregor might be the best fighter to have ever done it. He really might be. If you understand how hard 145 pounds is and how hard 155 pounds is, for sure, one of those two is the hardest weight class in our industry. I believe it to be 155, but I'd listen to an argument for 145. I mean, after all, a 145-pounder is the number one ranked guy in the world. And this happened 3 times through history, so maybe it is 45. Either way, McGregor won them both. He won them simultaneously. Oh, by the way, when he got to the final match, the gold medal match, if you will, he finished. He finished at 45 to win the strap, which shows absolute domination over the field. Twice. The 2 times he was a world champion at 145, which people forget. When he fought Chad Mendes, it was for a world championship. It's called interim. World championship. He finished. He finished Jose Aldo at 155 with Eddie Alvarez. There was a finish. I'm just saying he showed absolute domination. He might be the best fighter ever. It's been tried. Other people have tried to duplicate it. Volkanovski, just by example, as great as he is, and he is, as great as he is, he tried to do what Conor did and didn't do it. I'm just sharing for you. That's how good the guy is. But there was a period of time we thought he was selling it. He's not that good. He's going to go and box Floyd Mayweather. He has absolutely no chance. It's the mismatch of the century. You couldn't get any crooks aside from the Nevada State Athletic Commission to even sanction a 0-0 amateur against a 50-0 professional. And Conor went out and went with him for a half hour. I'm just sharing for you. Some of these things we thought he was selling turned out he really had. The only thing that he never had that he pretended he did was power. And it was great. I loved it. I don't turn on Conor. That was great. We had leaders in our industry when we're out doing interviews talking about the power of Conor McGregor. I could cite them for you one after the next. If you don't have the ability to sign an athlete, cut an athlete, control an athlete's pay, determine when somebody is going to fight, you don't have power. And I only bring it to you because it was a great sales job and he got people to believe it. And over the weekend, for the first time ever, he revealed he didn't have it. It's never happened before. Conor comes out over the weekend and says, I'm not fighting in December. Says, I wanted the announcement. They're keeping me from my livelihood. I feel as though I'm a victim. I felt this way for years. But I'm not going to hang my head. I'm going to soldier forward. I mean, this is a big deal. I was there on January 19th when Conor McGregor wanted to fight, but there was no show. There literally wasn't even an event. So they put one together. Conor went up to 170 pounds. It was opposite Cowboy Cerrone. They sold out in way less than 24 hours and put on a really monumental night. All because Conor was willing. Now Conor is revealing to us, I'm willing. I want to do this. Where's the announcement? You don't have a main event for December. We've all talked to Colby and Leon. You don't have a main event. We've heard from Sugar Sean, and we know that he wants Cheeto Vera. But we also know that you haven't signed it. So I will do it for you. And now, for the first time ever, I'm being overlooked. What do you tell Michael Chandler in that situation? Right? What do you tell Michael Chandler? If you've been telling Michael Chandler for a year, hey man, we're trying to get it done. This dude in Ireland, he gave us his word and now he's pulling out. I don't know what's going on. He's not in the pool. It's this whole mess. Oh my goodness, we can't get him to do it. And now you find out he will do it. He wants to do it. He's asking to do it. What do you tell Michael Chandler? I mean, what would the excuse be now? We don't make the decisions. We get this other company. We pay them $10 million, but they tell us what to do. It's really weird dynamic. But at any rate, we're still working. I'm just asking. I'm just simply asking a question. I find it to be very interesting. I find it to be interesting to the point that I'm not convinced it happened. This same exact thing, it's this voice memo. It's this voice memo that comes out through X, Twitter. And it's Conor McGregor in a blue suit, and it's Conor McGregor's voice giving a message. And it really sounded like him. I think it was him. He said stuff that would be very sincere. You know, he talked about the Ultimate Fighter. He talked about the athletes on there. I'm really quite sure it was him. It was the exact same thing over Conor's official Twitter handle. It's a picture of him in the suit. It's this little thing that gives your eyes this weird trance, and then there's a voice, and he gave a message to Michael Bisping, and Bisping even responded to it. He thought it was Conor, and it wasn't Conor. It wasn't Conor. It was somebody else doing the X. I don't know. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. Like, there's a lot up in the air here. There's a lot of really unusual things that came from this. And if Conor wants to fight so bad, or if Conor thinks they are stopping, who is the they? Who's the they that's not letting him fight? I have a hard time believing that's the UFC when I'm armed with the fact of the January event that got put together all because Conor said he wanted to fight. Conor was even to go to a weight class that wasn't his. I mean, he got a 45 pounder, he got a 55 pounder, and it goes all the way up to 170 just to make it happen. That's how badly he wanted, right? When Conor says he's ready to do something, you can count on him. But he hasn't entered the pool. And it's just an interesting thing. Conor, even in this piece, referenced Bob Bennett, but Bob Bennett retired. It's not Bob Bennett's decision. It would have nothing to do with Bob Bennett. And just so you understand that, Bob Bennett, who did a great job, was a former executive director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So if Conor's saying, I want to fight in December, which is an event that's being held in Nevada, so he's talking about, I need Bob Bennett, unretire. Come on, let's get this done. All Bob can do is license you. Nevada will license you right now. You don't need to be in USADA to get licensed. There's a number of mixed martial arts fighters in Nevada that are not in USADA that are licensed. So it's not a licensing. I mean, I'm just sharing that with you. Like, who was it that he was blaming? He said, they won't let me fight. Who's they? And then the only reference, the only hint that he gave us is Bob Bennett. If Bob would unretire, we could go get this whole thing done. No, they'll license you right now. So what's he talking about? Who's they? UFC doesn't want the big fight? Do they ever want the fight? You said you'll fight. Chandler said you'll fight. Do they want the fight? Well, if they don't want it here, why would they want it later? Or is that not the they? Is the they USADA? And it's a very interesting one. I want the fight to happen. It looks like it's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, it looks like it just did happen. And it was a TKO for USADA.